And there we are. I mean, here we are. Where are we today? Wow, look at this prison. We're here in Brooklyn, New York. I bet you didn't know there was a big federal prison in Brooklyn, New York. To hold all the bad guys. Wow, it's a badass. That's a badass prison right there. Good morning. Marcus Conti reporting on Ghislaine. I'm going to say her name right today. Ghislaine Maxwell, the bad guy, the pimp. The female pimp. Jeffrey Epstein's female pimp in the PedoGate scandal in New York and in Florida and in New Mexico and in Pedo Island and in London and all over the fucking place where Jeffrey Epstein was abusing young girls. So here we are today where we have been notified that Ghislaine Maxwell is inside there. Right? Remember, Jeffrey Epstein was held in Metropolitan Correctional Center, and what we're looking at right here behind you is MDC, that is the Metropolitan Detention Center, federal prison, here in Brooklyn, New York. It's 29th Street in Brooklyn, New York. If you want to zip code it, it's 11232. 11232, and you can have a look where we are if you Google map it. We are down in here in the industrial section of Brooklyn. Nothing but a lot of parked trucks. Very sneaky when you think about it. Very sneaky place to put a prison. Right, and why is she here? Why is she here and not in MCC? MCC is in Manhattan, right behind the Southern District of New York Court. Marcus Conti reporting. Is behind the court in New York City, where Ghislaine Maxwell will be appearing this Friday. But why are they keeping her here in Brooklyn at this fine facility that we're going to take a walk and look around at, and not in the other place? Why? Why is she here? Why? Maybe because they dropped the ball last time and killed somebody? That's very possible, right? Oh, so I got to do a shout out to Tony Yao. Tony Yao gave me this hat, man. Look at this fucking hat, man. Oh my God, it's so fucking dope. I love it. Thank you, Tony, man. I got a box in the mail. Fucking, hey, that's how we do it, man. This is viewer funded. Thank you very much for becoming Patreons and your one-time contributions. Carol Hayes, thank you so much for your ongoing contributions, your ongoing support, and everybody else who's a Patreon of this channel. It allows me to eat in the morning so I could get out here and talk about this shit, right? So this is one scary ass prison, a place you definitely do not want to get locked into. So the Metropolitan Detention Center here in Brooklyn at 11232, the zip code, if you want to Google map it, is full of male and female offenders. They have both in there. How they're separated and why they're separated, nobody knows. I asked the gentleman walking into the building before a simple question of, is the whole thing full of bad guys? Is it whole full? Because there's a couple of pieces to the thing, right? And I wanted to know if there were prisoners in all of it, and he said, yeah, there are. They're scattered all over the place. So scattered all over the place, and you can see when you stand outside a federal prison, you'll see people, because it's a federal prison, it's probably maximum security. You'll see people looking at you while you're looking at them. So they're very aware. These guys are very aware that I'm here. The press has arrived. We'll just get them on camera, because I'm not doing a goddamn thing wrong. I'm just filming from across the street. But because I got my super duper lens, I can do that. I can do that. Right? I can do that. So we're going to keep looking at this prison here for a little bit because it's so interesting. You see how there's two tiers? There's two areas of love. This is the ministry of love. The ministry of love, your taxpayer money, hard-working taxpayer money, to keep the bad guys away. And what did Ghislaine Maxwell do? What did she do to deserve all of this attention? On this side, that side of the building, that's not the prison, and that is the prison. And I understand that it's medium and maximum security. So this is a maximum security. At least parts of it are. You see a dividing wall here, right, of some sort. And maybe we'll take a look. We'll zoom in there, see what we can see. I think that I saw a refrigerator truck. That's pretty interesting, right? Maybe that's where they keep the dead bodies or something. But we'll go around the other side. See that refrigerator truck right there? That's pretty interesting. We'll see it from the other side. That's the highway over there. I can get in a little closer. And you know what I mean? And there's the sign right there. You are in the U.S. Department of Justice. Federal prisons. All persons entering the federal property are subject to a search of your person and your property, including your vehicle. Yeah, not fucking around. Not fucking around, right? So we'll keep moving along over here. There's a cop on a phone over there. They get very excited. They get very excited because they really have nothing to do, you know. So just, you know, taking the temperature of where the hell she is, right? This is serious shit, right? Ghislaine Maxwell is a pimp. She pimped out young girls for Jeffrey Epstein, right? That's serious. So you've got 1,559 bad guys inside here. Let's just talk a little more about it. We're in the Eastern District of New York, though Ghislaine Maxwell will be tried in the Southern District of New York. That's Manhattan. It's all New York, but it's just a little different. And it is a scary. It almost looks like a... I've seen it a couple of times. I walked by. I was like, man, that's an ugly looking building. Looks like a fucking prison, man. Who wanted to live in there? It turns out it is a prison. So we'll have a quick look over here. It's something you wouldn't see on mainstream media. Nobody's going to talk about this. I did see some fake news piling in. Let me get on the other side of the camera for a second. So the apocalyptic Metropolitan Detention Center here in Brooklyn, New York, is housing Ghislaine Maxwell, who will appear in federal court this Friday in the Southern District of New York. And for now, she gave up her $1 million home, her millions of dollar home. Once she had a $14 million condo or set up on the Upper East Side of New York City, right by Epstein, I think on 65th Street. And then she hid out for a while in New Hampshire, where they picked her up. And you know, and that's where they found her in her New Hampshire. They ripped her out of her New Hampshire $1 million home. Like I said, it's very industrial down here. Of course, it's not very friendly. Let's just take a look at what the markings on the wall say over there, so you know where we are. And then we'll talk more about Ghislaine Maxwell in a second. I just want to get the full effect of this place, where the hell we are, because it is a scary place. It's a place you never want to get stuck in. How are you, sir? Good morning. Have you seen Ghislaine Maxwell lately? No. As a correction officer going to work. Well, maybe not. Oh yeah, he's going in. He's going in there to break some balls. Hey, listen, man. Fine, outstanding people. No disrespect whatsoever. So there is the Metropolitan Detention Center, Brooklyn, New York. It is Department of Federal Prisons. We're sure. We know that she's here. She was transferred to the facility yesterday. Right? That's what we know. So she was transferred to the Federal Detention Center in Brooklyn. She's 58 years old, Jeffrey Epstein's pimp. She's awaiting her first appearance in New York court on Friday for an arraignment. And, excuse me?
You need to go across the street.
Oh, okay. All right, who are you, first of all?
An officer.
You're an officer and you're asking me to go across the street. Okay. No problem. It's always you get more with sugar than nasty. Thank you. So I've been evicted from the front of the building. Ooh, you hear some screaming in there. I heard some screaming. Wow, you can actually hear the prison sounds. You hear, I heard some shit, man. So the officer asked me to move across the street, so we're going to do that for now. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, is that what was I saying? Oh yeah, she'll be here she'll be at the Southern District of New York on Friday to face the music, and that will be an arraignment and bail hearing. We won't expect much. Will she make bail? Of course not. Of course not. She's a flight risk. She's not. They're not gonna let her out. But the mystery is, look. The only reason we're talking about this story, the only reason that this even matters, that anybody even cares, is because Ghislaine Maxwell knows everything, and knows everybody involved in this latest PedoGate scam. The answers to Jeffrey Epstein's mystery lie in this building right here. You hear the? Can you? I don't know if you can hear that screaming, but I hear people screaming in the background. No! I hear the sounds of a prison in the background. So, she holds the answer. She holds the magic key, if there is any such a thing, right? If there is such a thing as holding the magic key as to what Epstein knows or knew before he was allegedly taken by God, a suicide, right? The only person alive that knows what Jeffrey Epstein knows is, as far as we know, is Ghislaine Maxwell, right? She holds the magic key. She knows. Is that the male and the female side? I don't know. But you see how there's two units, right? There's this piece. There's this fine piece right here. And that building across over there, that building is not part of the prison. It's these two wings that extend all the way out to the highway over there. These trucks have nothing to do with anything. There's some sort of truck parking down the block over there. So again, Ghislaine Maxwell is charged with conspiracy with Jeffrey Epstein to recruit, groom, and sexually abuse young girls. That's why she's here. And according to the indictment that I went through on another video, I'm not going to go through it again, but according to that indictment, there are three particular witnesses spanning over a period of 4 years, 1994 to 1997. Now, people have speculated that those are the years, those are the hot years where Clinton, Bill Clinton, and Trump were involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And the conspiracy is that's why we're talking about Ghislaine Maxwell now. Why here? Why now? Because because of that. Because of the powerful men she was the pimp for. To bring the powerful men, the little pretty girls, the little children that they like to abuse because they're so rich and powerful and they think they can get away with it. Right? So she's being held on 6 federal crimes, 2 of which are perjury. 2 of which are perjury. Let's have a look over there. So that's another doorway, I guess. And so the establishment here is very, very aware. When you step foot on their property, they're very, very intuitively aware. They're picking up phones, they're yanking, they're yakking, they're walking out on the street. They're trying to interfere with your day. Right? I guess that's what they do, right? That's what security does. The security, checkpoints all over the place. I would 100% guarantee that they are heavily armed. That would be a mild... I think that would be putting it mildly to say that they're heavily armed. So again, Jeffrey Epstein, dead, has been alleged, we never did find out, but he has alleged to have molested many, many, many young girls, many, many young children in what is commonly known as executive PedoGate. PedoGate. He had an island for pedophilia, right? What does Ghislaine Maxwell know about any of this? And more importantly, is she going to sing like a bird? Woo! Because that's really what we want to know, right? That's really what we want to know, as Ghislaine Maxwell sits in her prison cell contemplating her life. Well, lack thereof. If she will ever get out, which she will not. She will get out either in a casket, or she will cut herself a nice deal. Or maybe we're all stupid and it's just a big show. It's a big school play. It's a big show. It's a big show. It's a big flex because of what? What's coming up soon? Oh, the election, November 6th. A chance to smear Trump with pedophilia as Trump smears Biden with Ukraine-gate and senility. So is it a tit for tat? Is this what we're really talking about? So she's definitely here. According to the Daily Mail, a helicopter was seen landing and promptly taking off Monday morning. Here. A helicopter taking off and landing. Wow, we missed it. But we'll take it for what it is. We'll assume that a helicopter did land. Who else has been held here? This is interesting. Who else, trivia time, who else has been, what past prisoners have been included in this maximum security prison? A name you might remember, Allison Mack of Nexium. You remember Allison Mack? The other crazy chick, and that psycho rapper Takesha 69. Takesha 69, the dude with the shit all over his face. He's got the tattoos all over his face and the fucking metal sticking out of his all over him. Fucking crazy ass bastard, right? He was in there too. So it's famous. It's a famous prison. It really is eerie, though. Really, when you walk by this place, it's spooky and scary. Can a billionaire, can the daughter of a millionaire who lived in the lap of luxury and has all rich and powerful friends, can she survive this fucking mess? This wall of fucking brick and noise and craziness? Can she survive it? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, as you look up the side of this building, there's nothing but fucking brick and empty windows, right? The whole street is just full of nothing, bricks. It's a pretty scary building. See if we get followed. The police, see if they follow us. There's a guy sitting right in that little room over there. Where is he? He is. He's sitting over there somewhere. He's sitting inside. So, so those are the people that are there. So, here's the deal. Again, according to the Daily Mail, they seem to be doing good reporting on this. She has copies of everything Epstein has. Everything that Epstein has, Ghislaine Maxwell has, and is sitting inside that building right now, facing 6 federal charges, ready to sing like a bird. Is she gonna sing? Of course. If she knows anything, she's gonna sing because, again, she's the daughter of a billionaire. She can't live like this. She's either let me out or I'll kill myself, just like Epstein. I want to get this on the record too. So, right there, I had mentioned that there's a freezer truck. Now I don't know. I'm not a jailhouse knower of things, but that does look like a freezer truck right there. Very, very similar to the ones that we saw at the hospitals. It's a makeshift morgue. It's a makeshift morgue, and there's another security guy there, so I'm not going to go beyond my allotted area right here. Right? Is that a makeshift morgue? We can't get close to it because it's behind prison bars, but it does look like a morgue of some sort. Well, not of some sort, of the sort we've already seen at the hospitals. Right? So again, we're in between the two. The one on this side is not a jail, and the one on this side is the jail. So that's how it's divided. And as you can see, I walked all the way around the building. There's really nothing but fucking brick and brick and brick and stuff. A lot of brick. So again, according to the Daily Mail, she has copies of everything Epstein has. Secret stash of pedophile sex tapes that could implicate the world's most powerful men. And who are those powerful men? Prince Andrew from England, and Bill Clinton, the ex-president. You remember that guy? And Donald J. Trump. I'd have to say Donald Trump is the big prize, because nobody really cares what Bill Clinton says anymore anyway, or do they? They expect him to be a crazy fuck, right? They expect something like that. Right? Federal Bureau of Prisons. That's the same sign. Violation of 18 USC hashtag 930. Don't break that law, you'll end up inside, right? She holds the key to the most powerful fucking men in the world, right? Are they pedophiles according to US law? Did they fuck and fondle and fuck around and play around with young children under the age of 18? According to our law, common law says 18 is the law. Huh? So, not in all countries, but in our country. 18, one day under, 1 moment, 1 minute under 18 years old, and you are fucked. So, it's a scary place, man, and it's real, and she's in there. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Are they talking about it in the bowels somewhere of the where the rich cocksuckers hang out and talk about shit like this? Are they scared? Are they shaking in their boots? Do they give a shit? Right? Are the doors? Is the world closing in on the pedophilia ring? Is this connected to PizzaGate in the basement? You remember? In the basement where they were doing that shit with the kids in the basement. You remember? That's bullshit, right? PizzaGate. This is real, my friends. This is real. What does she know from 1994 to 1997 about the most powerful men in the world? Because no one really gives a shit about Ghislaine Maxwell. If it wasn't for her connections to the rich and powerful and her very, very close association with Jeffrey Epstein, who was connected to the rich and powerful before they knocked him out of the box. If it wasn't for all that stuff, her connections to that, we would not be talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. And that's why we're here. And that's why we're here way before all of the fake news is here. Because the fake news is going to pile in, man. This is the circus. We're going back. If you don't think so, I do. So Friday we'll be at the Southern District of New York, talking about all that crazy, you know, we'll talk about what we see. Now, what's interesting about the difference at Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan is next to the jail, right? So the prisoner comes down from the jail and underground and then up into the court. So here, you got a lot of distance. So at some point, they're going to take the prisoner and they got to bring her to Metropolitan. They got to bring her to Manhattan, to the Southern District of New York. When is that going to happen? Is it going to happen in plain view? Probably not. It's probably going to be a very secret transport because she's a flight risk, and she's clearly a target for assassination and murder or assisted suicide, whatever you want to call it. So she will leave this facility on Friday and make her way to court, where she will face the music in front of a federal judge and the Southern District of New York prosecutor. I think his name is Sweeney, something with an S, right? And so we might get to see her. I highly doubt if we'll see her outside of the facility or outside of a correctional facility car. Those big buses, you know, the paddy wagons. Paddy wagons is what I'm trying to say. These vehicles here have nothing to do with the jail. They're just, it's where you are. There's a lot of industry. It's an industrial area. There's a pretty cool windmill over there. Let's take a look at that windmill. Is that pumping power for the jail? Look at that, man. Windmills in Brooklyn. I never saw that before. Ah, generating its own power. A quick look at the future. A quick look at the future. There's a lot of garbage trucks coming out of there too. There must be a sanitation facility back there. And these are all the cop cars. All the police cars lined up. There's a lot of help, right? There sure are a lot of cops and a lot of workers. So again, you don't want to be stuck on the wrong side of the law and spend the rest of your life up in this motherfucker. Like Ghislaine Maxwell is going to find out. Because she's pretty much screwed. Right? Oh, I got to make one other very, very important news. If you haven't heard, is that in Coney Island, Joey Chestnut has broken the world record for hot dog eating. 75. He broke his own record of 74 hot dogs and buns, plus a little water to water it down. If you still like eating meat and that sort of thing. You can hear the screaming. You hear the screaming right here. This is amazing. It's like we're in the jail. So Joey Chestnut is at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest here in Brooklyn, New York. On the other side. Wow, is it loud in there? Holy shit. You hear, yeah, blah, blah. So I guess that's where the community hangs out. So Joey Chestnut ate 75 fucking hot dogs and buns with a little water in less than 10 minutes. Holding the world record. He beat his own record of 74. Could you fucking imagine eating 75 hot dogs? Holy shit. Oh my God, that's a lot of hot dogs. And he eats them with two hands. A fucking German or shit in his mouth, right? So Marcus Conte reporting here from the Brooklyn Correctional, whatever it's called again, I forgot. The Metropolitan Detention Center here in Brooklyn, New York. And we are following this story closely. I appear to be the only media on the ground. No, there's another camera over there, but it's very early in the morning. It's like 7:30 a.m. in New York time, so it's early bird catches the early, the early bird catches the biggest worm. And so we are the big worm right now. We have caught the big worm. We are here before anybody, and I guarantee you they're very much aware that the spigot is going to open and press is going to pile in to find out this very fascinating story. So cheers to Joey Chestnut. Thank you, Tony Yao, for the fine hat. And Marcus Conte reporting. Kindly become a Patreon of this channel. I'm not going away. I hope you will take this fascinating and funny ride through life and through the news and wherever else it takes us. Maybe someday it'll take us into the arts. Maybe we'll be talking about musicians doing art again and making music instead of a bunch of hoodlums shooting each other and sleeping outside because they can't get their rights heard, and all that other stuff. So Marcus Conte reporting. Peace out.